Hello. Hoi, I'm going to show you something today about your water tanks. And it's this stuff, right? Now if you've watched our vids before, I've shown you there's some tablets you can chuck in when you're on the go. Now I've used them a lot before too. I can't remember the name. It's so simple, I'll drop it in down here. You can buy them online as well and just use them if you're traveling, if you think you get some dodgy water. This one I am going to use, we're parking up the van for a couple of weeks just while the kids are doing a bit of school, and we're going to do a bit of running around here and get the boat ready and the 300 for the new trip. So I know on our last little hip camp tour we topped up all our tanks actually with creek water, right? Now even though it was super fresh and we all drank it through the filter and there was no dramas and everything, because I know I've had non-potable or just creek water in there, I am going to flush these tanks out. All right, so this stuff here, it's called Tank Clean. You grab it online, I'll drop a link in down below. You can get it at most sort of camping shops and that sort of thing. But it's what you do is you chuck a teaspoon or 11 grams per 11 litres, right, of water. And I just Googled it, and one tablespoon is 14 grams. So anyway, there you go. I reckon a tablespoon per 10 litres or 11 litres will do it. These are 80 litre tanks, so 8 tablespoons, or probably 7 tablespoons per tank. All right, now you pre-mix it in a bit of hot water, pour it in your tanks, then top your tanks up, let it sit overnight. Make sure you flush it all through your lines, so turn your shower on, your sink on, flush your toilet, all that sort of thing, get it all through. What it also does is get rid of any like taste. So if you get that dodgy plastic taste and stuff in your tanks, or gross bore water taste, this is supposed to stop all that once you give them a flush. So right, we'll go and mix up some water, pour it in, and I'll show you another little trick. I made up this little cool little hose manifold to connect me tanks. Saves you time when you're filling up at a water fill point on the side of the road. It says mix it with hot water, not boiling water. So I'm just using the hot tap. This is my little sink set up out the back of Sheddy McShedface. Alright. Tablespoon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.5. I'm going to go a little bit less, just so I can make that, divide that equally into 4 tanks, 4 85 litre tanks. Give it a bit of a mix. Now it does say don't get this stuff on you, don't sniff it, don't swallow it, don't get it in your eyes. So, got me safety gear on. Hey. Alright, I'll start with the back tanks. Now in the instructions it tells you make sure you drain these out first, so make sure all these tanks are empty, haven't got any tainted water in them. Mine are already empty and we've run out of water on our last day home, so I know I'm right to go. Shove this in, and then I'll do this for each tank, and then I'll show you how to top all mine up anyway with my little guru little invention. Yeah, anyway. I'm gonna need a funnel, far out. Take 2. So I poured that stuff into the tanks, right? They each got about 5 or 6 tablespoons. About 5 or 6 litres of water tipped into them. Now, this is what I'm going to show you how I fill my tanks up. Look in the back here. Now, let's start. They're all the same. So on these tanks, this is what they look like when they come from factory. They've got a ball valve on the bottom. They don't have this hose fitting in them, but so you can just drain them out with this tap. What I done is put a nipple in each one, just a normal garden hose fitting in the end of each tank fitting, and then I clip this on. I made up a hose just with some garden hose and a few irrigation fittings, a few T-pieces, and they all link together. So 1, 2, and then it goes across the top of the suspension, and then 3, 4. So they're all linked together, right? So that means when I plug the hose in, open all the taps, all tanks are going to get water at the same time. How good's that? Now this is my little filler here, so there's another T-piece here, comes off here to a filler nipple. Take that off, plug my hose in, there you go, and now go and turn the tap on. So You know why I've done this? Imagine if you're on the side of the road or at a dump point with a water fill point and you're like waiting. Now sometimes the tanks are, or the taps are real slow and it takes like 5 or 10 minutes to fill up one tank, and you're standing there in the sun with the hose hanging out of there and you're going, oh. Now, I just plug it in, open 4 valves, turn the tap on and just have at it, mate. I can just sit inside, make a cup up, put the aircon on, do whatever. And then as they fill up, they'll just start running out the overflow. I can come down and shut each valve off and they'll just keep filling up the tanks till they're all full. It's gold, mate. I'll go and turn it on and show you. What I can do as well while I'm inside is just keep an eye on the tank levels on the C-Zone system. So you can see freshwater tank 1 is at 32, 3 is at 22, 2 is at 8%. This one's taking a while to catch up. Anyway, once they get to about 90, I can go out there and stand there and wait for them to start overflowing, shut the valve off, and happy days. But you think about it, 85 litre tanks, 4 of them that's empty, it's 340 litres I need to top up. Sometimes it can take ages, mate, on them slow, painful tap fittings at water fill points. So anyway, for a couple of bucks on a bit of garden hose and a few irrigation fittings, it's made my life a little bit more enjoyable. Hey, righto. So when they're full, they run out the breather hole like this. And all you have to do is reach under, shut that tap off. That'll stop that flow. There you go. And then wait for the next one to bubble over and shut him off. You do that for the 4 tanks, 2 tanks, happy days. Here you go, here's another one. Off. There we go, 2 to go. Now, no, it's not a huge thing, but it just makes life so much easier. So I reckon if you've all been on the road for a while and you have that pain in the arse of filling up your water tanks with shoving a hose in each one of the inlets, have a crack at that, mate. A couple of bucks, a few beers, one over. You can knock up a cheap little manifold and run it along to your tanks. Happy days. All right, now I have to let this solution soak overnight in these tanks, then come back tomorrow, drain it, refill it with fresh water, flush it all out. There you go, make sure it's all good. But anyway, that's it, mate. That's how you clean your water tanks, or if you've got them in storage, you're a funny taste in your tanks, get onto some of that stuff, that tank clean, and have a crack, eh? Cheers. Oh, this one's done.